In every corner of our world, beneath the rhythms of modern life, lie stories long forgotten, buried in dust, sealed in silence, and hidden from the eyes of those who walk the earth today. But sometimes, history whispers. Sometimes, the past calls out to be found. This is not a tale written in books. This is not a tale spoken by kings. This is the story of an archive lost to time, an archive that once held the truth, of an empire that shaped civilizations, ruled oceans, and disappeared without a trace. Tonight, we open the Forgotten Door, Chapter 1, The Unmarked Map. The story begins in 1974 with a man named Jonathan Reed, a cartographer who spent his life studying ancient coastlines. He lived quietly in a small coastal town where the Atlantic wind carried the scent of salt, old stories, and unspoken mysteries. Reed wasn't famous, he wasn't wealthy, but he possessed something far more powerful, an obsession with hidden histories. One evening, while reviewing satellite photographs, Reed noticed something unusual. A faint geometry beneath the ocean floor, an outline too perfect to be natural straight lines. Right angles, massive formations, as if a city had sunk beneath the waves. He thought it was an image glitch. He thought he was tired. He thought he was seeing things. But the lines didn't disappear. And so, the journey began. Message in the sand reed traveled to the location indicated by the mysterious pattern. A remote island no longer listed on modern maps. The island was small, covered with sharp rocks and silent forests of wind-shaken palms. There, he found something strange. A series of symbols etched into the sand, each one perfectly shaped. Circles intersecting with triangles, lines forming ancient glyphs. They looked old, very old. But the strangest part? The symbols reappeared every morning, fresh, as if someone or something was rewriting them each night. Reed photographed the symbols and sent them to a linguist friend, Dr. Helena Ward. Hours later she called him, her voice trembling. "Jonathan, these symbols are not from any known language. They resemble a script referenced only once in history, inside the journal of a 15th century Venetian explorer. He called it the language of the sunken people." Reed's pulse quickened. The forgotten archive was real. The first descent, with the help of divers from a nearby research station, Reed organized an underwater exploration only miles from the island. The divers descended into cold, dark water. Their lights sliced through the deep, revealing enormous stone structures, columns, staircases, toppled towers, covered with coral but unmistakably crafted by human hands. It was an entire city, an underwater metropolis, silent but alive with stories. Among the ruins, divers found a sealed stone vault covered with the same sun-etched symbols. From the island, Reed knew what it was: the entrance to the forgotten archive. But the vault wouldn't open. It was sealed shut, as if protecting something powerful. He didn't know yet that opening it would change the world. Chapter 4: The Night of the Tremor. That night the island shook. A deep, thunderous vibration rolled through the ground, waking Reed from sleep. The ocean roared as if something colossal moved beneath the waves. Helena's voice crackled over the radio. "Jonathan, you need to hear this. The symbols, they aren't just writing. They're mathematical codes, coordinates, formulas, patterns describing stellar movement. Whoever built that city understood astronomy far beyond their time." Reed stared into the darkness of the island. "Why are the symbols rewriting themselves every night?" he whispered. Helena paused. "Because the codes are changing, aligning with something happening in the sky." Chapter 5: The Sky's Secret. For the first time in centuries, 3 stars in the constellation Lyra were forming a perfect alignment. a rare celestial event mentioned in the journal of the Venetian explorer. He wrote, "When the stars of Lyra align, the archive of the sunken people will reveal its truth." Reed realized the vault wasn't locked. It was waiting, waiting for the sky, waiting for someone to understand its language. Chapter 6. Opening the Archive. At dawn, when the stars vanished behind the rising sun, the symbols on the stone vault began to glow faintly. The ocean became unnaturally still. A deep humming sound vibrated through the water, and then, with a slow, thunderous crack, the vault opened. Inside, divers discovered a chamber untouched by time. The walls were lined with gold plates, each engraved with symbols. In the center lay a massive crystal sphere, suspended between pillars of stone. It pulsed with soft light, like a heartbeat. Helena translated the first line from the golden plates. "We are the echo builders, the ones who listened to the world before it fell silent." Reed felt chills run through his body. This was more than a city, more than a civilization. It was a warning. Chapter 7. The Echo Builders. The golden plates told the story of a people who lived thousands of years before any known civilization. A people who understood the stars, the earth, and the delicate balance that sustained life. A people who built machines that could predict the future, not through magic, but through understanding the patterns of nature. But something happened, something catastrophic, something they called the Silence. It wiped out their world, not in fire, not in flood, but in the stillness of the Earth's core, a collapse of magnetic fields that disrupted the planet's balance. The Echo Builders predicted the disaster centuries before it happened. They built the archive to warn future civilizations, but no one came. Chapter 8. The warning becomes real. At the end of the golden plates, one final message stood out among the others. The silence will return when the stars of Lyra align again. Reed froze. The alignment was happening now. It wasn't history. It wasn't a myth. It was prophecy. Helena connected historical data, geological surveys, and modern astronomical charts. Her conclusion was horrifying. The Earth's magnetic field is weakening, faster than any previous measurement. The Echo Builders foresaw it once, and it destroyed them. Reed stared at the glowing sphere. It pulsed like a living heart. "What is it?" he asked. Helena whispered, "A machine, a memory, a message, a guide to survive what they couldn't." Chapter 9. The Sphere Awakens. When Reed placed his hand on the crystal surface, the sphere illuminated the chamber with dazzling light. The golden walls reflected visions of another world, a world collapsing in silence. Mountains crumbled, oceans rose, skies darkened. Not myth, not legend, recorded memory. The sphere was alive with knowledge, maps, diagrams, energy matrices, designs for stabilizing the planet's magnetic field, solutions centuries ahead of human understanding. The archive wasn't built for nostalgia. It wasn't built for study. It was built to save the future. Chapter 10. Humanity's Choice. Reed and Helena shared the discovery with scientists and governments worldwide. Some believed, some dismissed, some feared the implications. But the sphere continued to pulse, a beacon and a warning. The planet's magnetic field continued to weaken. The alignment of Lyra reached its final phase. Humanity faced a decision: ignore the warning and repeat the mistakes of the Echo Builders, or listen, adapt, and survive. For the first time, the fate of the world rested not only in knowledge, but in action. Chapter 11. The Revival Project. Global cooperation began immediately. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, reconstructing the technologies encoded in the sphere. Massive resonant towers were erected across continents, designed to stabilize Earth's magnetic field. Crystal energy systems, based on the sphere's design, were tested and replicated. Satellite monitoring and predictive algorithms were coordinated on a scale never seen before. As the Lyra alignment reached its zenith, the Earth trembled once more. But this time humanity was ready. The resonant towers activated, the crystal networks pulsed with energy. The magnetic field of Earth, once weakening, pulsed back to life, stronger, more stable. Chapter 12, Messages Across Time. As the last vibrations of the alignment faded, the sphere dimmed. One final message appeared on the golden walls. When you save your world, do not forget ours. We did not die in silence. We spoke through time, and you listened. Reed's eyes filled with tears. The Echo Builders were gone, but their voice, carried across millennia, had changed the course of humanity. In every corner of our world, beneath the rhythms of modern life, lie stories long forgotten, buried in dust, sealed in silence, hidden from the eyes of those who walk the earth today. Some are only myths, some are warnings, some are echoes of civilizations that spoke across millennia, and if we pay attention, we can hear them. If we act, we can survive. If we remember, we can thrive. The Echo Builders were gone, but their voice, their lessons, still whisper in the winds, in the tides, in the stars. And tonight, as you listen, you might hear it too.